For the last decade or so, Madden has consistently not met expectations and many people have been very disappointed. Today in this video, I'm going to be going over why 2K returning to making football games would be the best thing for consumers, Madden, and 2K all wrapped up together. With that being said, let's get straight into it as I dive into it. So as you guys probably know, 10 or 15 years ago, Madden was a great game and there was a lot going for it. It had tons of cool features and it had competition as well. You're seeing on the screen right now 2K8. Some people consider it to be the best football game of all time, and it's just based off the animations, how the game feels, and all the dynasty and what was in this game right here that you're watching. Madden had to compete with this, and therefore they had to upgrade their game each year to make sure that the demand was still there so that people didn't switch over to 2K football. However, around 2010, when 2K stopped making these games, as well as the other football game makers kind of died out, EA really took a turn and just completely monopolized the whole football gaming. You still have your couple kind of small ones, but for the most part, football game, it's only Madden, and it has been that way for about 14 years now. And most of you guys already know this, but Madden is not getting any better because it has no competition, and there are no reasons for it to invest time and money into it when they know people are going to come back every year because there are no other games to play. You can't play as Jamar Chase in any other game, so you're forced to buy Madden whether you like it or not because it's completely in EA's hands. That's where 2K comes in. For the last 3 years, I've always seen headlines, and 2K has kind of danced around creating a new football game in the current day because obviously they have the basketball scene locked up. NBA Live was a thing for a couple years, then it failed. So they have their own monopoly, but a football game for 2K would be cool. I mean, animations in 2K aren't horrible. They're not as bad as Madden. In 2K8, 2K has proven that they can make a football game with good animations, with good gameplay. But as you know, they stopped in 2008, and that's really when Madden started to take a turn for the worse, as they started removing modes, and then they would add them back later and say they are new, even though Madden 08 and Madden 07 had all these modes, and then they slowly removed them and introduced them back as new content. And some people have already mentioned that on YouTube. So a 2K football game would force them to drastically add new features because it's just waiting for 2K to take it if they want it. They have the money and resources to get a license if they want to later on, so they can create a game, add these features and get EA to get more features, I guess, added to Madden, because Madden is already a established game. So 2K would inspire EA to step their game up. I'm aware that a lot of EA resources are going towards College Football 25, which if you've watched my channel, that's all I talk about now. But I wanted to take a step back and do a video about something similar, but something I still wanted to talk about and let people know that I think 2K desperately needs to make a football game for the reasons I'm talking about right now. But Madden just needs to add a couple of things. They could add all-time teams, they could add team builder, they could add any of that, but they choose not to because they don't have any reason to. I really like the phrase that says when there's competition, the consumer wins, because that applies here 100,000%, because there's no competition, the consumer's not winning. Obviously it's up to you if you dig in your wallet and spend $70 each year for Madden, but it's that or you don't get to play football as a video game, or you play maximum football with the most random teams ever. So you have these little football games like Sunday Rivals that they'll never compete with Madden, obviously, and we can say all we want, oh, these games are good, but in retrospect, those games will never ever be as good as Madden in terms of fame and in terms of sales each year. Like, we could make these football games, but at the end of the day, it's Madden, unless 2K did something that was out there. 2K is already a famous game developer for NBA 2K. They would get so many new customers if they decided to make a football game. On the flip side of that, obviously the consumer will win if 2K makes a football game, because now they're both trying to please the consumer and make the consumer the happiest, which is obviously the best thing for the consumer if you have these companies with a bunch of resources doing their best to outdo the other one, but in the process making it the best game possible for you, the consumer, so you can feel good about spending money on it, instead of right now how, you know, Madden isn't very good and you're kind of guiltily spending $70 each year for something you don't really want. I want to take another step back and talk about 2K FIFA, because that's been floating around a lot too. It's kind of been confirmed. Some sources say it's coming out in the fall, but there are no, you know, announcements for the release date or anything like that. I know they signed a deal with FIFA licensing, which is EA just dropped last year. So I think they are creating a game. They might release it this year. I didn't make a video to talk about soccer, trust me. But if this is actually true and they are working on a game right now, this could be our kind of trial run for Madden and the football gaming kind of hemisphere, because we can see how EA responds to competition and how good 2K is at making a new sports game, as opposed to 2007 like you're seeing right now. That was a long time ago. 2K obviously has changed a lot since then, so a FIFA game by them could really demonstrate how much effort they're willing to put and towards, you know, beating out EA Sports in a specific game. So I really would like to see how this turns out if it is true, and they are working on it right now over at 2K. They're making a FIFA game. Then we could definitely see how. I'm more interested in seeing how EA would respond if they're gonna, you know, start making EA Sports FC crazy and add all these features that everyone's been waiting for, or they're just gonna sit back and say, we know people are gonna stay with our game. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see for that. But I definitely want to get back to what I was talking about, nor back to football. I want to take a second to talk about my predictions and how I think people would react to a 2K football game. So for most of the fan base, I think it'd take a minute for people to actually switch over, or like the people that play Madden year in and year out, I think they'd stay with Madden, because people in general don't really like to change all that often. And when you have a price tag of $70 and you're saying, if I buy this new game and it's not good and I want to go back to what, then I'm already wasted $140 across 2 games plus taxes, obviously. So there's that feeling of there, unless I feel like the basketball gaming community would at least try it out. So they obviously would make sales if 2K were to make a football game. But I do think Madden would at least stay the front runner for at least 2 years, unless for some reason 2K would make this spectacular game and EA wouldn't do anything about it. So then it'd be a landslide. So it's kind of go big or go home for 2K. I don't see it being like half and half, you know, where you just choose if you want to do 2K or EA Sports. It's going to be a landslide either way. So I would like to see, obviously I've said it a bunch, but a 2K football game would be in everyone's best interest, the consumer, and Madden, because the title of this video, it's talking about Madden, how it would be best for Madden, because that's up to EA. If 2K makes a game, then Madden is forced to update their game and make it better. So that's how EA Sports is going to make Madden good again, because they're going to be forced to add features. And I hate to say it, but they're not going to do it. It's not on the horizon. EA Sports, I guarantee you, is not sitting in their headquarters saying, we need to update Madden. We need to, you know, make it this great game again. So that's really why 2K needs to come out, so that we can get a good Madden game again. We've already seen it in the past. Obviously, that was 2005. So both game studios have changed a ton. But at the end of the day, competition, the consumer wins. So that's what I wanted to make this video about. So this was a little different than College Football 25. I'll get back to those. But thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.